Hi there. Have you ever been messed with by archons or humanities? Or just seems like your life, like you're having a normal day and then everything starts going against you and you're just having like tons of hardships? If yes, please share in the comments so that we would have a community of people like-minded or having similar experiences so that we would know if that's happening to more people. And I'm bringing this up because like lately, as you've known, like for those who are watching my channel, I've been talking about doing some solo retrieval work and me going out of bodies and having like various experiences. And it's like literally amazing for me because with all those things I experience, I get a lot of understanding. And what I like most about this whole thing is that once I got out of body and I experience whatever, like I communicate with other beings, I interact with entities or archons, reptilians, grays, and with all the contact we're having, sometimes we fight, sometimes we have like different things, but once we interact, once I get to touch them or something, I can perceive their memories. I perceive their memories, everything that happened in their past, and I can get like more understanding about the whole thing. I mean, like the whole multiverse and what's going on, and I'm learning a lot. So I felt like, hey, I'm gonna make a video, and I sit down, I'm gonna make a video, and all of a sudden my laptop is not working, the camera is glitching. Okay, I fixed that. My neighbors start drilling the walls, and I'm like, well, that's not gonna be good for the sounds, so I should wait. And then like things like keep happening one after another, as if someone was trying to stop me. And I'm like, well, hey, this is exactly what's going on, like as if I was to do a session. And I'm bringing this up like, sorry for lying, maybe I should fix it for you so that I wouldn't look so weird. uh, yeah, I have like, doesn't matter, no one cares. Yeah, so going back to the subject. Um, Rich and I, we were doing solo drill work, and he was guiding me. So basically, I would sit down, we're talking, and then we're like, okay, what are we gonna target? Are we choosing the aspect of myself that lost some time ago, or are we choosing the entities that might be messing with us, and like we're targeting specific things, and we just go for them. So what happens is that once I target something that will help me, I usually get blocked. Me or Rich, we get blocked, and something happens in our way. For example, we just target like, okay, this is the thing that we're going to work on. And soon what happens is that all of a sudden our internet connection drops, the call like Skype drops or Zoom, like something's like, things start to glitch. We cannot hear each other, the mic stops working, the videos glitches and stuff, and we can't have a normal conversation. So once we get fixed with that, another thing, like, okay, we just got fixed with cell, like, the internet's working, camera's working. Now we're gonna concentrate on possible entities messing with us, or go back to the subject, like, of the aspect that we're gonna get. And I close my eyes and I'm gonna look at that thing and like, okay, the way I do a recall is basically remember or first think of what sort of thing I want to target, like the emotion or the personality that I got, and I would go for it. So what happened is that I was targeting that, and I have a pretty good memory, so I recall it, got it, like, okay, have it in my visuals. And with this whole glitching happening, next time, like the next time I started targeting and going back to the thing where we ended off, all of a sudden I see this grayish, like, well, dark fog or like the mist or like something, and I cannot get into the memory. Like basically, if you can imagine a movie tape, like in old days, where basically it would be frame by frame by frame, you can move into a frame and there will be a specific moment. For me, I see my life the same way. Let's say if I would think of my past, I would recall everything that happened in here, this life, and all the past lives. So for me, imagine like just tons of tapes of all those, and I can see frames and like, okay, this is that moment, and I just basically in my mind just click on that moment and I move there with the full perception of the sounds and the like visuals and everything, so I can recall the moment. So for me, it's a nice skill to have. And basically, I do that, and all of a sudden, we're being blocked. Rich cannot guide me because like he has a thing in his mind, like he starts doubting, he starts feeling bad, he feels like he's being stopped, and at the same time, I'm having a hard time visualizing or getting back into the moment. And we're like, okay, we're being messed with again. Usually we call this the Archon interference because, like, I guess it's a good way to call it. So, long story short, we target that there are other beings targeting us to stop us from this work because we can do a lot. Like, once I get out of body, I do a lot. Like, I can go on various planets or realms and find the underground bases that these Grays reptilians have. I can, like, free beings that are being trapped or harvested because, like, literally, there's so much going on. You won't believe that. And like lately, Rich and I have been doing sort of work for about 4 days or so, and it's really paying off. But what happens is that since we are in this bigger fight, getting our aspects back, so becoming a better being, stronger, more aware, with more knowledge, and also if there are any entities or beings in our way, we deal with them one way or another. So basically, we're winning the fight, and with all that going on, we become a threat. So if you're doing something in life and your life is going great, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, I'm gonna get out of body and do this, like I'm gonna help people doing the healing work when I'm out of body, or I'm gonna learn something, or I'm gonna go into the moon and check, like find out all kinds of information that you would think of. And all of a sudden you're being blocked. You cannot get out of body anymore, you're having a hard time remembering your dreams, or you do some major research and all of a sudden you're trying to write an article or whatever and you're being blocked constantly. Well, what I found out with my journeys out there, when Rich and I would do this sort of work, I would basically close my eyes and just get into the state where I could leave the body while my consciousness is like 5% here, to where I can still hear Richard and stuff, like because we were on Skype and we're talking, and my main consciousness is there. I can move, I can do things, but whatever Rich will say, I will hear it, and it's going to be transmitted to me when I'm out of body. So as we do this sort of work, and Rich tells me like we're being met with entities, for me it's easy to track them because like, okay, we're connected, so I sense the entity, I just teleport there, and we start dealing with it. And there's like lots of ways to deal with those entities out there. A thing that I mentioned a lot is that when we're out of body, we are really powerful. There is nothing that can stop us. We have no pain, we have like no negative emotions, we're strong as can be. So that's a neat thing. And whatever you can imagine, you're going to create. Like, okay, I'm going to create a spear. And like, bam, you have a spear. You want a gun? You get a gun. You want to transform your body into all kinds of shapes? You'll be big and muscled or slim or fat or whatever. You can do it all. Like, change your sex and be a female or male. Whatever you want, it's all up to you. You can do everything when you're outside of body. So, with all that being said, there's like lots of ways we can deal with entities. One, and the best one is like basically sending them love and all the positive things, because they don't really like that. Also, if that doesn't work for you, if that doesn't seem fun, you can go into killing and fighting and various things if that seems to be fun. There is nothing good or bad out there, because like it's the duality of the physical universe. Don't worry, whatever you do is just a game over here, and it's a pretty sick game because. One of the things that I've learned as I was doing this sort of work is that, lots of people around in my life were bad to me, or still are sometimes. And I was like, why does this happen? So once I was out of body, I was like, what if? And I just found entities that are entities, beings like, reptilians, whatever. There's like lots of them in various forms and shapes, and their intentions are pretty much the same. Stopping beings like us from getting out, from making the changes inside like this world and the multiverse. Like, they do not want us to win. They like us being enslaved. They like us to be harvested. We are their cattle, their food. So there's like laws into that. And I'm going all over the place because this topic is so vast, and right now we're doing like lots of work. But basically, I found entities that were messing with me a lot, and they see me as a big threat because out there, like, my abilities to get a body are really huge, but it's up to me how I use them. So for them, if they can use people around me to negatively affect me, emotionally or psychologically, that's gonna be the only thing that can break me to stop me from getting out of body. And people have been doing that a lot. So I was like, what if entities are like targeting those people in my life and they're doing something? And I'm like, yeah, that's the thing. So Rich and I, when we do these sort of sessions, for example, he's guiding me and he has a meter. So we're connected, he reads me, and whenever I experience something out of body, like I can target, okay, there's this fleet and several like spaceships, there's this planet, and there's the AI. And whenever I choose, I get my attention or focus to one thing, and I'm just like, okay, the spaceship, and the meter reads like, yeah. And then there's planet with the underground bases, the meter goes, yeah. And then there's AI, and the meter goes like, yeah, all the way. Like, so for me, it's like, it's a read because that's the thing to focus on. So with my eyes closed and Rich guiding me on the right things to focus on, I get my wins. And like, it can be overwhelming if you're not guided, because like there's tons of things that you can experience and do. And having someone like Rich guiding me on to right things, spotting the more important things, is like really helpful. Anyway, like I'm all over the place. I'm sorry about that. But what happens is that I found out that entities are affecting people in my life. Basically, the way they are being affected, not physically, but mainly emotionally. Like, they will channel various thoughts. Like, you can have a normal day, and any entity, if they're negative, they can start messing with you and like channeling thoughts, like, something negative, like start to make you worry, doubt, hesitate, like have all kinds of things that will like stop your attention and just shift you, and like now you're having a not that good day. So with all this happening, I'm like, well, I get you the entities, and Rich asked me, he's like, do you have any agreement with this? And I'm like, well, not really. And I'm like scanning space and like looking for my agreements and stuff. And I do find one main soul contract agreement that basically I do agree that people can be affected by entities and mess with me, so that it would be a personal training. That's sick. Like, I never agreed to that, and I would never want that. But basically, when you incarnate to Earth, and you might have some like soul contract agreements, and you do not read through the whole list, you're like, oh, I want to get in faster, so you get in faster, and all of a sudden you do not remember what you agreed to, and you find out all these things. Like for me, I did not read the list fully, like most people, but the agreement that I found was that beings can mess with people around me to affect me negatively. And I revoked that, and this is the second day when I'm like, damn, this is pretty good. Like, life is good, So there's lots. I did sort of work. Now I do not allow the entities or any sort of beings affect people around me to have to inflict the negative thoughts, to train me to be a better person, because like finding and growing through negativity, right? That's sick. So I did sort of work, and I get out of body a lot, and like basically I spend like 2 hours every day now for 4 days out of body, doing various work, and mainly fighting reptilians, grays, going to their bases, destroying their AIs, and I'm learning so much. Whoa! Basically, there are fleets above Earth. What I say might not be true, but this is what I've seen when I'm out of body, so it's for you to take in, like, just put in your perspective as a possibility. If you want to believe it, believe it. If you don't, it might be just a creepy story that this weird girl is telling. Like, don't go for it if you don't want to. But anyway, this is what I saw when I was out of body. Basically, Archons have this holographic shield around Earth, so that we would not see their ships or whatever, and basically it's just like hiding everything, or having them sort of invisible. Like, they have these cloaking systems, and they use the holographic system, like, or shields around Earth, so that we would not see them or perceive them or hear them or have anything. And in life we're having this, like, right here on Earth we have technology, and it's been pretty good. Like, Japanese, they have this amazing holographic technology, but we've also seen some weird anomalies. I think in China they had the floating holographic city, which is weird, but just think if they developed that great technology, and now you're driving in the desert and there's like a city, not in the sky but on the ground. Like, you might believe that, like, oh, it looks like Dubai, like, no difference. So they might be working on various stuff. Probably Sweden or other place, they had this Nazi bell-looking spaceship just floating in the air for a while. Like, you can just Google those videos, and hopefully you'll find it. But YouTube changed their algorithm, so they might not recommend those videos anymore. So good luck finding it, but hopefully you'll find it. Anyway, yeah, Secure Team 10 covers those videos, so be sure to check it out if you're into that stuff. Anyway, I'm out of body, and I noticed that they are projecting, and they have these sort of holographic shields around Earth. And they also have the technology to collect the loosh out of people. Basically, they have tons of entities affecting and targeting every single one of us. By that I mean, like, today when I went out of body, we were doing like lots of work with Rich. I ended up in a realm, and there was like underground base, and they usually like hiding, because like, so if we're scanning, we will only see the surface and no structure. So like, oh, the planet is empty, like, we're not gonna go there. But they usually hide under the surface, and they have their underground bases and stuff. And once I went there, it was pretty, I don't know, I can't say that it was horrible, but really interesting and weird experience. Once I saw, like, one is that I saw beings that I've never seen before, and it's hard to explain it, but it looked like mantis, but more like, thicker, and like the legs or arms would be like that, like a log, like huge. And it was like about 15 meters tall, like huge, like really huge. And as I've been exploring their base, I found their computers and stuff where they literally tracked every single person on Earth and other realms and other planets. Which means that like I'm going through their data and I see like my name and they have everything about it. They have everything about Rich. They have everything about every single person here on Earth. How bad and just I don't know awful is that? So for me, what I get from that, like I'm looking through that data and all I see is information about us. Like literally, they have, I think, I don't know why, but I would think like because they're interdimensional and they can teleport and like be with us and like watch us like and we most people do not have the perception like we see through human eyes. But let's say dogs, for example, they can see more than humans and they can sense more, same as cats and some animals. And there would be possibility why they see that, but I probably shouldn't go there into why, just to explain what I saw. And basically, those Archons and Reptilians and entities, like, they had huge base and huge databases where they literally had tons of information about every single being on Earth. Like, I haven't looked through absolutely everything, but I've seen like numbers and stuff, and they have our names, our birth, the time when we were born, when we incarnated, where we came from, all our information, like everything about the body, everything we like, everything we did not like, everything like we experienced, all of our memories and whatever. And for me, the way I get it is that basically, yeah, sure, they have information and it's worse than Facebook and all the FBI and stuff like that. But I should mute my PC. Sorry about that. Apart from that, it's like they are using our buttons. They know our weaknesses. They know what's going on in our life. And if you have like something happens in your life and there's some faults and stuff, and you're like, damn, this is what I really don't like. Like I hate when that happens. Or you're weak in some places, not like physically weak, but it's hard for you to deal with certain things in life. So when that sort of things happens, they know about it. They know what you cannot handle most. Like there will be things that trigger you, and you're like gonna be in fear, and they know everything. They literally have movies as if everything was recorded. It's as if they had the access to the Akashic records of our physical life here on Earth. And knowing all of that information about us, every single being on Earth, they can use it against us all the time. Simply picking like, okay, there's this person, this is what they're doing, this is their interest lately. We don't like that. They can be a possible threat, so let's use their weaknesses against them. And, so they have their fleets, they have tons of their soldiers, their hierarchical levels where there's even AI pretty much up top where like it's just commanding and sending all kinds of like transmissions to their minions and stuff, and basically they can simply target every single person on Earth and project thoughts and energies. Like so you can have a normal day. And you can even be dreaming. You can like not remember your dreams at all, but you're sleeping, and those entities and beings will project their energy and thoughts, and they can cause fake dreams, so they might scare you in your dream state or do something and have this sort of creepy experience. So now you wake up, you had this terrifying nightmare, you feel pretty blah, and you're like, oh, this like feels weird, and you try to get a nice day going. But possibly yesterday you had a great day. You had fun, you learned something new, you're like fired up about life, and the next day it's all downhill, and things start happening against you, and it just goes like really bad. I'm saying this because I know a lot of people that happened to them. Exactly the same thing. Like they're having a great day, they're learning a lot. Like they're at the top of the mountain, the next day they fall. And for me, that's what I've learned out of body today. Like they have this sort of databases on us, like everything about us. You want to get out of body? Sure, we'll make sure that you will never get out and cause you tons of things. Like, we're going to make sure that you will get your mindset shifted so that you will consume food that's bad for you. We'll make sure that we have more electronics and things targeted at you. We're going to change your behavior simply by shifting, our attention and causing different things and making us think things. And there's a lot. There's a whole lot of things that they can do to us. So, I'm not spying, like, I don't leave it like only... It's not like, oh, I got this information, now I'm leaving. I'm exploring that base more. Now I find the pods, and there's like thousands, like miles and miles. This room is huge, and just miles and miles of space, and these pods. And pods like have human beings in there. And not only from Earth, like there are human beings in other planets and planes and stuff, so they gather humans from all kinds of places. And it can be also, the physical bodies from the planets, and also the astral bodies. Like you can have an out-of-body experience or an astral travel, and they might be like, oh, here's a target, and they're gonna take you and seal you and have you for the harvesting. So they're doing the harvesting. Basically, getting the blood out of you, trying to get the gold out of your blood, trying to get some plasma, or just using your body for some fun, or just like, okay, let's engineer it, let's use change the DNA and like see what's up. So they can play with us in any way they want, and that's like pretty hard. So what I do is like I take my time, I free all of the beings out there. Like they're released. I make sure that I teleport them all to safety and have their memory clean so that they would not have this weird bad experience. But it's not like from Man in Black where you delete all of their memories. It's like they will not be shocked by what happened. They will simply have the knowing and be like, okay, this is what happened. This is what I'm going to do now. So anyway, I free all the beings. So I destroyed the realm. Like everything's underground, like destroyed. And good or bad is basically still the game in the physical universe. Whatever you do, it's a game. Beings right here on this plane like fighting. Like it or not, everyone's gonna fight, and it's like, hey, this is fun, because like elsewhere you can do tons of stuff, but this place where we're at right now, people love to fight, people love to compete, and people, like it can be humans, it can be entities, it can be whatever, everyone is included, and they like to fight, and they like these games, and they like to be in the competition. Winning, losing, it's a game. It's all a game. So I get rid of this realm and stuff, and it's not just one thing. Like finding all these beings and like out here harvested and stuff, but also like with all it's just basically probably like 30-minute ubi, 30-minute ubi, and I find out that much, and we work for 2 hours with Rich every day, like for 4 days now. I learned so much. Like goddamn, I'm so sorry. Like I just go all over the place because there's so much to say, there's so much to talk about, so much to share, and I don't want to say too much because, like Rich said, people might be scared, but at the same time, I feel like it's important to talk about such things because, like, people don't talk about it because it's harsh, and I think that we should know. You might call me crazy. I might be crazy. I don't know, but this is what I see when I'm out of body. This is what I've learned today, and I think it's important to know about these things. So yeah, this whole Loosh thing, this whole targeting us thing, they have these sort of bases and stuff to make sure that they can control us. Basically, if they can shift our attention, our thinking, our mindset, our behaviors, and get it all into negative, they're gonna feed from us. They use relationships a lot. Whatever relationship you have with anyone, it might be your friend, might be your lover, might be your spouse, husband, partner, whatever, whatever you choose. All kinds of relationships, they're being affected a lot because this is the best way to control people. Like we might get like not so connected to the life, like okay, money thing or whatever. You might not get creeped out about not having enough money or losing your job or look your shape. You might be anorexic, you might be obese, you might like have all kinds of things, but you still can deal with those. Relationships, on the other hand, you cannot control them. Like everything that's outside of your control is gonna hurt you a lot, and we need to learn to let go of these things because like that's one of the best ways they can harm us. And this is what I'm learning. Like there's like tons of fleets of spaceships and these beings like literally targeting everyone here on Earth. Like maybe not absolutely everyone, but they do have information on us for sure. And if you're into pretty much awakening and trying something to get out, to be out of the matrix, you're a target. Because you should not be fighting them. You should be like a slave. And it's a thing. So they will do whatever to affect people in your life so that you would have fights. Let's say for me, from my perspective, it's a bigger thing in my life. Whatever happens around me and inside, let's say something with jobs, something with my diet, something like whatever, I still am in control. Like the way I will react to things is all top notch, and like I can deal with those things. People, on the other hand, this is what I cannot control at all. Like I can influence them, I can have leverage over them, but I can in no way control them. Of course, remote viewing and sending your thoughts into them and making them act in certain ways, but I don't do that. Like, it's not my way. Anyway, archons are using people, especially like those that are close in relationships, and let's say me and Rich, if we are doing this sort of work, they will try to do something to harm their relationships and make people fight each other and look at certain things between them, like, oh, I don't like you, but I don't like this thing about you, or this thing, and we should not do this and this and this, and people start concentrating on life, on their things around themselves, and not the more important thing, like the outer, like getting out of body, getting out of the matrix, learning more about all sorts of things. And so this is one of the best ways how they can distract us, or not distract us, but suppress us and control us. If you're like having a great day and stuff, and there comes the person that they're gonna like affect the person, like inflict all kinds of thoughts. Your best friend, your lover, your whatever, the person you like can have a most wonderful day and have the most wonderful intentions about you. But these archons, they can inflict bad thoughts and change their behavior right like that. One snap and it's a completely different person. They're blinded. They have a sort of fear, a weird idea or something, and they will push it onto you because it's important to them, because they have now a thing. They might be scared, they might be worried, they might be angry about something, and we need to learn to deal with such things because they can use people against us. And if we are able to react in a way that will, like, literally, whatever happens, you hold your ground, so basically you stay emotionally and psychologically well. Hopefully, there's no physical actions and stuff, like instead of like hugs and kisses and like handshakes or whatever. That's friendly, that's good. But if it's not going well, please get help. But anyway, I think the best way to handle these situations is basically try to be logical. And like not into like, okay, this person's feeling like that and like this is what I'm gonna do, but try to understand them, like their wants, their needs, and because the archons can control people easily enough. Shifting their thoughts, their behavior and everything, they can use people against you, which is why you need to be in control of yourself. If you can control yourself and how you react to things, people cannot harm you. So that's one of the most important things. And this way, if they cannot mess with us, they cannot get delusion anymore. They cannot feed from us because it's not only your bodies that they need, they love to get off from our negativity. This is why this world sucks. There's so many bad things going on, and beings will try to harm you in every way they can. Cause tons of negative things in your life, make you worried, make you sad, scare you, whatever is gonna happen is gonna affect you in some way, and if you get any single bad emotion, any single bad feeling, your vibrations drop down, they are feeding off from you. You are the cattle, you are the food, and you are the thing feeding them. Which is why it's important for us to be in control of ourselves, to learn to react and not be giving off that much negativity. Of course, it's not going to happen perfectly all the time when you're not connected, but the more you're in control, the better, the less they feed from you, the less control they have over you. So with all this going on, they're literally if I don't know how to explain it, because my English is not as well, and probably vocabulary is smaller than I wanted it to be, but you can imagine networks, and every single one of us, every single being on Earth, we have sort of a thread, or let's say energy going out. Whenever something bad happens, and you let off any negative feelings and stuff, there's literally energy coming off at you, and they're sucking it in, feeding off from you, and using that to feed themselves and be better, stronger, and all this stuff. So there's that. Literally, I'm out of body. I see these holographic shields around Earth. I see how they're sucking out that loosh. I literally see how much and how bad it is, and they're feeding off from that, and it's horrible. So destroying those things and trying to make some changes, I'm doing that as much as possible, but this, it just even if I take out a spaceship or a fleet or a planet or this whole thing, or shatter the holograms and stuff, they once I get back, they restore it, or they restore it and stuff. There's so much going on. Literally, you can Google the Galactic War, or Heaven and Hell or something like that, and read a lot about the Galactic Wars we're having. And there's literally good guys versus bad guys fighting and trying to save humanity, while others are trying to use us as a slave and stuff. There's so much going on. And I've seen planets, literally, where they were using it as a dumping ground for humans. Basically, if they can control us by what we consume, and they can use our bodies in various ways. I've mentioned in previous videos that, let's say, chemtrails will be the thing that creates the atmosphere or environment better for the archons. So, because this is the place where they can live in. If the chemtrails lands, it creates the atmosphere better for them and better for their surroundings. While the fresh air and the fresh air we have, it's not that good for them, and they don't like it. So, which is why they're trying to turn this planet more into what they want to have. Not only the air, but also the food. If they can create the food that's going to be toxic as can be for the humans, we will not be able to consume it anymore, or we can because it's delicious, because it's going to play out with your neural system and like cause you to believe that you love it and you need it. You know, that's like sugar expanding your stomach, and now you are like drinking instant coffee or whatever. But those things can numb down your system, your nervous system, and also affect your taste. So now certain food will lose the taste. You will not be able to feel it anymore because it's numbed down, and at the same time, certain food will have enhanced taste. And now you're like, okay, I love this food because you can feel the taste, not because it's good. But, you know, various people. Anyway, my message is that they are messing with what we consume so that they would create bodies, basically like, you know, us being the cattle, being the food. They're trying to get us, eating toxins and stuff, so to create the really bad bodies. Not like, you know, they can use human bodies in lots of ways, but usually they love to feed us off to lots of tons of negative things that they can later on take us, like, you know, either abduct it or use us, our bodies and stuff. Like literally, the planet I visited, like there were tons of humans, like millions and millions and millions. Like the spaceship comes and dumps down like tons of people, and they're using it to harvesting, do whatever they want, like for genetics, for like using our flesh or using our neural systems or blood cells, whatever. Like there's tons of things that they do with us, and it's just horrible. Like it's overwhelming by all these things that I've experienced there. And yeah, I just thought, like, you know, doing this solar real work is fun because I can learn so much. Like literally, I go out of body, I engage with beings, and I can like learn from them, like get their memories if I want to, get their like past lives, learn the connections between them and the bosses and like hierarchical levels. Various planets where they are using humans, like there's so much to learn. But at the same time, I've noticed that once I started doing this sort of thing, I started like fighting for humanity or like learning more. They are targeting me much more right now. It's not easy. It's not fun in that way because like they try to find various ways to affect me in any possible way. They know my buttons. They know everyone's buttons. So if they can use certain people in my life, certain situations in my life that can trigger me and cause me to react, basically my attention will shift from doing sort of sessions and getting out into solving whatever's there going on. And if they can bring me down to where like, oh, fuck it, I give up, I'm not doing this anymore, like I need to fix my life or something, that's going to be a win for them. Which is why we have to fight back, which is why we have to be in control, to do more, to fight for ourselves, to be free of them, because it's really important to get out of Matrix and make the difference. I don't know, like, there's so much about it. Like, I really want to share a whole lot, but it's, like, been over, like, 30 minutes, and I'm like, damn, like, I don't know if people will listen that much. If you watch that much, I would like to know what you think about this whole information, if you're interested, if you want to know more, or your experiences. Like, if you've gone out of body or had lucid dreams, what did you learn, what did you experience? Please share in the comments, because, like, I want to know what's going on in your world, you know? So, yeah, I might be crazy, I might be having, like, awesome movies, and I just want to know if you're interested, because like that's there's a lot of stuff that I experience. There's a lot of fights, lots of insights and stuff, and lots of things to share. But I'm not sure if I should make short videos or longer videos. Some people say that they like my long videos and brands and stuff, so I'm like I just go with it. And I just sat down to share what I've had over these few days, and it's amazing. Like I've shared like not even a half, basically just some of my insights and stuff. But like there's so much information that I want to share. So hopefully you're gonna like it and want more, because I do want to produce it more, but probably should without like caring. But anyway, yeah, please share your opinion because it matters. And hope you have a nice day. Thanks for watching. I love ya. Bye. I just missed the stop button. Whatever. Bye now.